Greetings, viewers. Welcome to Black Metal and Coffee. Uh, I'm Ben. We're going to go over our list of 5 people, or 5 little groups of people at least, who most greatly impacted my musical concert going experiences in 2015. So, obviously, this is pretty much relegated to people in Portland. Uh, and that works for me. Should work for you. We don't really have much of a choice here. We're actually experiencing the first snow of 2016 here, so I'm going to take a minute. Wow. So, for the 5 of you who've never seen snow before, there we go. That's that. Alright. And so, 5 people, or again, groups of people, one of these is a pairing, who made 2015 just fantastic for me to go out to shows. First off would actually be the duo of Brian and Carl from the band Hail. Uh, it's not so much about their musical performances, although Hail is an absolute force of nature. It's the fact that they're everywhere, and they're positive and they're supportive. I've run into them at almost every gig I've gone to, from Kraftwerk to Migwa. I mean, they're there, they're smiling, they're saying hi to people, but their performances as Hail are also just destructive, like force of nature level, frightening. They also are both live members of the band Waldteufel, who I saw over the summer. It was just incredible, beautiful time. Just great dudes, good musicians, and running into them out and about is always fantastic. They also just tipped me off to a few great things that I wouldn't have even known about otherwise. So I could go on at length, but we're going to keep this as short as I can because I've got a lot of different, wrapping up 2015 things. Following that would be RF from the band's, from every band, it seems. The fella who runs the Vrasabatlat label that I've been featuring so far with Triumvirfal, with Salu, Skumgalu, and others, Serum Drag. I got to see him perform with both his bands Urzite and Itzalu this year. I sadly ended up missing Triumvirfal's gig with Pseudogod, which was a bummer. But both were just some of the most devastating, just heavy black metal shows I've been to. Whether it was just that churning, crawling that Urzite does so well, or just the straight punk, almost like caveman black punk of Itzalu that devolved into sheer noise. That's only a couple videos back if you've been watching my YouTube channel with any regularity. Absolutely magnificent times. Typically drunken, sweaty sort of vibe, and I don't think that metal has enough of that sometimes. So good on you, my friend. Up next, I have a handwritten list on a napkin here to help me remember the order of these folks. Up next would be our friend Bluebird Gaia. As I experienced the joy of witnessing Bluebird perform. Bluebird's, I think, the only person not from the Portland area with 2 different, very unique bands. First was one of her final performances with psychedelic medieval folksters Lasher Keen. Got to witness that late summer, or early summer rather, at the High Water Mark. It was my 3rd time catching a Lasher Keen performance, and it was, still just entrancing, captivating. Between their stage show and just the sound of the music, it was great. And then actually just a few weeks ago, in early December, she came up here with her new band, Suspiria. Not spelled quite like the film, but it's Suspiria with an EA at the end. Really just good, fun, kind of goth-inspired, but not goth outright, rock and roll. Perhaps not everybody's thing, as both of those terms are not always friendly to viewers of Black Metal and Brews, but give them a look. There should be some videos out there. I got full video of one of their songs from their set, and maybe I just need to get to uploading somewhere. Good time, incredible human being. Can't think of anybody who's been supportive as a friend to so many people as her. She's pure love, that woman is. And anyway, up next, person who made massive influence on me was Mehran Ozma, who books shows for, I believe it's called Past Haunts is what he books as, or he's arranged a lot of great electronic dark music shows. I mean, dude threw together a noir night at a bar here in town that I did not get to attend. As far as booking incredible events, I can think of few people who are better equipped to ensure I have a good time without even knowing or trying to make it just for me. First experience with him and his booking was when I got to see Body of Light, Window, Some Ember, and Warm Hands when I first got here last summer. Since then, I've seen so many great shows that he's been responsible for. One of the earliest shows I saw this year, The Hive Mind, Cult of Youth, and Caustic Touch, it was such a brilliant show. Dude's just setting all these up, but his passion for bringing some of the best shows, his graphic design work, the flyers are always great. They're not those tacky things that look like somebody just shopped a movie poster and put band names over it. You know, so between a Hive Mind, Lust for Youth, he brought High Functioning Flesh to town, which I missed, but I won't next time, because holy crap, that band is great. Dude's got an eye for what will not only do well, but be a great time, and he gets good local talent on his bills too, so much love to you, Mehran. Next, in a similar vein, is Nathan Carson, who booked what may be the best show I saw of the year, although it's hard to say, because like every time I think I have a best show, I'm like, oh, but that one was great. Nathan's responsible for setting up many incredible gigs around town, as with the aforementioned Brian and Carl from Hale. He is at every gig. I see him everywhere. They're, that's a pleasant thing. It's nice to run into somebody nice. Nathan threw together that Sub Rosa gig over the summer, though, as part of that Project Babs festival, with Brothers of Sonic Cloth, Lesbian, and Eight Bells. Again, magnificent lineup. Nathan also plays drums in the band Witch Mountain, who I actually missed when they played not too long ago because work. But between being an active local musician who actively seeks to support other local musicians, especially those doing it on a smaller level, dude's just got a big heart and passion for great music, and doesn't shy away if he's got an unpopular opinion, but he's not a dick about it. That's pretty cool to me. And then finally, the single performer whose live endeavors impacted me the most, just as far as things I wouldn't shut the hell up about, basically, is Andrea from the bands Vice Device and Caustic Touch. I hadn't even heard of her coming into 2015. Caught her just randomly opening for that Hive Mind and Cult of Youth show as Caustic Touch, and I was instantly blown away by just the improvised dark electronic just intensity that she generated during that set. Rarely do I see bills like that where I'm there to see a band and an opener who plays a similar style of music. It hits me just as heavily in a different way, and Caustic Touch totally did that. I then had the good fortune of getting to see Caustic Touch again at Volt Divers event at the Lovecraft Bar, I believe in September. And again, the performance, I believe it was mostly improvised, very just dark, quick. It's like an ugly journey inward in the best way possible. And then rounding out the year, I got to see a completely different side of Andrea's music with her group Vice Device opening for Psychic TV, which is about as cool of a show as you could see. lots, like percussion, basically just, three members, Andrea and another member of the band, both hitting things while playing keyboards, while singing. It really feels not just like, a band or compositions, but the energy of, you know, people creating in a space. Like, it was the sort of sound that you could only envision a post-punk or dark electronic group coming up with, like if they were just all like in a room facing each other with their backs to the audience. But there was such a connectivity, such a clearly well-formed vision there, that it had that channeling, that heightened energy, despite not making eye contact the whole time. It was just very connected, and opening for a band like Safety TV, where they've got such history, reputation, and just massive presence. That takes a lot of strength, and Vice Device did it brilliantly. So, I'm going with that as Andrea and her music being some of the most impacting stuff that I experienced in 2015. I'm going to have a lot more videos coming soon. Most of my best of 2015 things, however, are going to be in written form on the website, as I don't want to make too many of these when I am a writer first and foremost. So, hop on over to blackmetalandbrews.com and see what I thought about some albums or some other stuff. Thanks for watching. I'm Ben. Get yourself a good cup of coffee or a good beer if the time is right, and I'll see you very soon. Cheers.